Call if you're gonna be late. I don't want dinner getting cold.
Look! It's Wonder Woman!
So, how are you doing, Megatron?
You made me read 10 issues of a comic book! Why the hell?
Well, I mean, I personally felt that it was a fantastic few issues that we read, don't you agree?
Did it have to star a woman?
Well, now, Megatron, let's not go there.
Oh no, I am going there, Prime. And no one should be leading armies and shit. It's other than men. No one can be a leader other than men, and no one can be a main character in a superhero comic other than men.
Well, now, you see, Megatron, I personally disagree with you. I believe that women have the freedom to be the main characters of their own comics if they choose to wish.
God, ever since you met Alita 1, she has been filling your ears with such feminist nonsense.
Don't you dare bring a leader into this, Megatron!
Who the hell is
Get
this guy?
Now, you see that, Megatron? That right there is something called Getter Robo. You
That
should
was
watch it
clearly
at times.
Gundam.
No, that was Getter Robo. Did you not see the 3 Getter pilots? Mr.
God,
Not the last
run
one.
with the fucking order.
Well, okay then.
Ollie, the jig is up. We have you completely surrounded. Come out with your hands up. Stop. That's it.
I need a drink.
I see.
Unfortunately, the bar is held up by a stupid VTuber.
God damn it.
What do you mean? Now, Megatron, first of all, do not take the Lord's name in vain. And second of all, I personally find that
I have
crazy
you know,
Ollie.
God nerfed me, and here's why. Rule number
Magnus, you ever
one.
heard of Wincest?
Delete.
Oh no.
Oh, I
5398.
didn't see that coming.
Hey, I'm just here to remind you.
So remember, I am your god.
Alright.
Hey, what'd I miss?
Oh, I just finished Megatron to the Shadow Realm
Oh,
again.
so that's why he was kicking his screen.
Well, I'm
And while not is dealing with background shenanigans.
I'm moving. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah. Okay, welcome to the Comic Crypt podcast. 4 minutes of funny stuff.
Were you about to say cringe? I'll have you know that was a perfectly realistic reenactment of a conversation between Optimus Prime and Megatron right there.
Yeah, it is, and thank you for indulging in my silliness. But anyway, so we're covering issue
15 through 24.
15 to 24. We were supposed to also cover an annual, except most of this cast forgot the memo.
Hey, we already had to read 10 issues. Some of us had to do it in one day.
Now you see, Nick, this feeling you're feeling right now is called being thrown under the bus. I hope you like it.
See, it's funny when it happens to just you specifically.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And let's be honest, let's be fair, he's also throwing you under the bus too.
Yes, I don't like being one with the bus. Okay.
Yeah, but except I'm not alone this time.
Yeah, but you get like all four wheels.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Mr. Changus, how could you? Literally, we're both imposters. You killed a guy right in front of us. And you throw me under the bus.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, Mister. It's white. It's white.
It was a lapse in judgment. How many times do I have to-
Except we were in freaking voice chat.
How many
telling
times do I have to tell you? It was a lapse in judgment. I wasn't thinking straight at the moment, okay?
Clearly, you're on something.
I wasn't thinking straight, okay? My mind was going through this weird loophole logic where, like, well, I didn't see the guy actually commit the actual action, so it's like, is it really him? It's like, is he really the imposter? I didn't see him kill the other
Yes,
crewmate.
we all. And this is why we make fun of you, Changus. That and for killing Optimus.
Hey, no,
Yep.
no. That's going too far there, Shadow. First of all, how many times do I have to tell you? You are speaking of a man who went by Rodimus Changus Khan. That man is no longer here. Who knows whatever happened to him? I am just simply Changus Khan.
I see a rice hat in the background.
That rice hat is clearly covered up by a 2-cent sign behind my back, which is, by the way, is a show I do on Twitch every Saturday.
That way we're all part of. So.
Shameless plug. Cha-ching.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, of like all the 4 people who watches this consistently.
Well,
We love you, 4 people.
We love you, 4 people.
I'll be right back. I gotta take care of something really quick.
Yeah.
Ah,
Okay. So
okay.
anyway, we are covering.
We're-
So guys, what do you think of this reading segment of Wonder Woman?
All right, so I'm of 2 minds. The Beauty and the Beast arc is a lot
Beauty and
more.
Beast. That's the Cersei one.
That is specifically 15 through 19. So
Okay. Yeah.
That covers,
Okay. So yeah. Okay.
Silver,
Yep.
Yeah, Silver Swan's assault on the fair, and Cersei's plan to eradicate Diana.
Mm-hmm.
The first half is a lot better than the second half, which I will go into detail when we talk about it.
Yeah, I actually kind of agree with you. Like my favorite issue is number 20.
Yes, mine too.
Yeah, but like, oh my goodness, number 20 was awesome. But we'll get to that. But yeah,
Cocaine's one hell of a drug.
yeah, it's so. I did by the end of this reading, I was kind of like, it took me actually a couple days instead of like normally I would read most of them in like within a couple of days of each other, like depending of how much I read. It took a while actually to get myself the energy to finish up the annual and the other 2 issues myself. It's just that the annual had some interesting stuff in there, and it kind of highlights an important moment in the. I'm not sure if it is the annual itself or it's like the issue right before, but like sets up an important direction of the book. But yeah, it's not like the ideas were fun, were interesting and cool. Like it just seems like the second half was more. We're setting up stuff for the future.
Yeah.
How about you, Xeonic? What do you think of this Wonder Woman reading?
Yeah, I feel the same.
So first half good, second half feel set up.
Yeah.
I can kind of agree a little bit with that. I think, well, for me, I like the first half. the second half, while it did feel mostly like Seb, there was a lot of interesting things going on. Me personally, I felt was a little more interesting to see explored further in the future.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that it's bad. It's not like it's not like a sudden drop in quality. It's just
No,
it's just a consistent quality.
something like that. Like there's a lot of stuff in the latter half that I really want to see get touched upon later on. But the first half I thought was okay. I it felt a little what's the term? I wouldn't say
Stretched out. I think you can argue that the Cersei part, you could argue that it is a bit stretched out.
a little bit. It's mostly just a lot of things were kind of. Well, it's not even just the second half. Like the whole run, the whole amount of issues this time I read, a lot of stuff came up, and either they're just set up for the future, or it's just, I guess, not really touched upon again till I guess again in the future, like Silver Swan. I thought she was an interesting villain. Like, oh, here's something interesting. Oh, she's gone.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things that in comics, where they introduce a character and then they don't immediately do as opposed to like manga, right? Manga, you have a villain and it's the entire arc, and then you basically resolve the villain's story for that arc, and then if you want to bring him back, you don't kill him off for one thing.
Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just too used to the manga style of writing. Who knows?
I will say that I think one of the if I may interject really quick, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
But this is a casual. There's no structure. I was too lazy to make a PowerPoint, so I am not going to pressure people to all right, next issue, boom, 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 because this is 10 issues. And I read an annual as well. So 10 issues. I want to actually focus more on the themes that was going on throughout this portion, because there was a ton of interesting themes.
Yeah, that's
a lot of my themes.
So one thing I think I want to touch about is one of the flaws I think George Perez comes across with his writings is I think he has a hard time trying to reintroduce a lot of elements in Wonder Woman's story, namely the villains, because we just before and during our first run of reading, we got introduced to Cheetah, and while that was a decent few issues, her entire plot was kind of finished without much fanfare.
Yeah.
And then we were reintroduced with Silver Swan, which I think is a bit more better than the reintroduction of Cheetah.
Yeah, it also has a bigger impact to the story far, because without Silver Swan, we wouldn't get the events that laid up to issue 20.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. True, but it's still like for me personally, it's still kind of a little bit of a letdown. Like, that's it for Silver Swan for now. Oh, okay.
It's a one shot. It's a one shot for American comics. Okay, we'll have to wait for her to come back later.
It's like you, and plus like her what they introduced Silver Swan, what they have for her story. Like, wow, this is really interesting. I want to see more of this.
Yeah, and interesting thematic components as well. Like, it's
true, but just in general, like, she has such an interesting story going on. And then, I guess we'll just have to wait and see in the future for her to return.
So, so it's like I will say I will say that that is kind of his flaw with these issues that I've read is like while this greater emphasis excuse me, I can't words this greater emphasis on on the very the prominent uh, uh ancient Greek
Yeah,
ideas are really great, but uh I do think that he has a bit of struggle trying to reintroduce a lot of Wonder Woman's elements.
I would say his strongest so far is the Cersei arc. Like,
Yeah.
I think he did a fantastic job, in my opinion, of reintroducing Cersei, and probably because Cersei was like, it's tailor-made to the stuff he was working towards. He was working towards like this more Greek mythology, and like you have a literal mythological figure. And he just like, okay, I can put her up, as opposed to like a woman who was experimented on by men for their own gain.
The Chinese mafia reverse engineered an ugly person by radiation to act as Banshee. Apparently, no.
Yeah. Yeah, the female Banshee.
So that's how the Banshee came to be. I'm just imagining now the Gundam Banshee just being born by just heavily irradiating the unicorn.
Oh!
Can we move from this topic, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, right. But like I do agree. Like he does have a much more strength when it comes to the Greek mythological stuff, and and especially in the latter half of the issues we read, when they really start going into like stuff dealing with the current state of Olympus and the Pantheon and stuff. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Where are you gonna go with this? And then and then they also exploring the ramifications on that, like alongside with like Themyscira and stuff, like how are they gonna react now? I thought that's interesting. I want to see more of this explored.
And spoiler, it does get explored. Like, it's building up. Like, his final run is an event called War of the Gods, and guess who's the main bad guy in that one?
Hermes.
Cersei.
Huh.
Ah.
Cersei's is like the big bad, and here's another interesting fact. Not probably if he remembers this. Cersei's plan.
Yes, she wants to kill Diana because she believes by doing so she can resurrect Hecate.
How about the method?
She wants to submerge. Yeah, she wanted to submerge. I believe
she wants to revert her to clay.
To clay, exactly. Yes.
And guess what? This is just a huge spoiler. She pulls it off in the War of the Gods arc.
Huh.
The first time I read in a comic where a villain's one plan actually worked a second time.
Huh.
All I could think now is the episode of Futurama where Roberto Roberto robs a bank. No, literally the same bank 3 times.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, you know what? Let's talk about Cersei. Like, Silver Swan is an interesting stuff, but to me, most of the impact of that story comes later.
Right.
And like sets up like the underlining issue with Wonder Woman trying to deal with her, trying to figure out her role in the world, because she's like, part ambassador, but she's also a superhero that's like tied to like the perception of Wonder Woman versus who she actually is. But there is a fun. I do want to explore a bit more, especially when it comes to issue 20, about like the underlining themes between men and women happens, and even the Cersei arc, it ties into that. But I love. Okay, so the Cersei arc. I loved it that it took place in Greece.
Yeah, that was nice.
And like I love the whole explanation of we got the answer of what happened to Hippolyta's sister.
Cersei kind of pull the strings. So I can be the one pulling the strings. So that's
a Greek hero abandoned me, so I've sold my soul to a goddess.
This guy abandoned me, so I have issues. So instead of dealing it with in a proper way, I'm gonna sell my soul.
Yeah, like proper way, like having your daughter tie yourself to the statue of your. I was referencing, what happened with Hippolyta.
Yeah,
Good old Stockholm.
The only time, the case of Hippolytus and Heracles is the only time Stockholm actually worked.
It's like Hippolyta. I know I was a real old dick and asshole to you back then. Could you forgive me? Of course I forgive you, Heracles. Oh, thank you.
Hold on. Yeah, I know I kind of like basically almost attempted genocide on your people and basically abused and raped and like and humiliated you. But we're cool, right?
Heracles, I've been waiting a long time to tell you this. Oh, what's that? I enjoyed it back then. Oh.
That's her secret key.
Guys, help me! She's some freak.
Mother, what are you doing? Look, I'm happy you've forgiven Heracles, but don't you find this a little weird? Shush, Diana. Come, Heracles. Show me what it's like to be ravaged again.
So this is our headcanon that Hippolyta is a secret BDSM lover. He's secretly into BDSM.
Well, to be fair, it's not really our fault that Hippolyta decided, after all that, I forgive you, let's do it again. Oh. Okay.
I just love it.
See, it's one thing to forgive Heracles for what he did. It's another thing to go, oh, I still have the hots for you. I see. But yeah, we found out Hippolyta's sister. She got was coming because
says it was the one bowling the strings all along or something.
Yeah. Well, it was more like she got back and she finally was like, this guy, I think it was Theseus? No, like some famous Greek hero. She got the hots for him and they got married, and then Cersei goes, no! and kills them both.
No.
No happiness.
Premarital. Oh no, you had premarital sex.
I think they actually got married. I think they got married.
They did.
Ah.
No matrimony.
What's that? Holy matrimony and being happy? Screw that.
Yeah, that's Cersei. Like seriously, have you looked at her outfit?
Cersei, why are you doing this?
Because a guy dumped me.
Yeah, especially you, Wonder Woman. I have put you in manacles so that you can feel what it's like to be your mother.
I don't think this is how my mother felt. Well, I don't have a strong man like Heracles here right now, so this is the closest thing we got.
Yeah, we're just gonna bury you now. Time for clay. Time to become clay.
And then
Allow my beast morphers will keep you company.
And also, we're trying to get all those stupid Greek resistant fighters. Like, those silly Greek resistants.
All those silly Greek resistant fighters, they won't get through to my island. Miss, they're breaching through the wall. What?
What?
How can this be?
I created the best beast morpher army in the world. Well, clearly you didn't. I knew I should have hired the Power Rangers instead.
And then, like, apparently her one weakness is a Greek professor.
Well, because the Greek professor had this thing that like helps prevent magic spells. So
yeah.
it's just like,
yeah, she actually used the special what's the leaf from the Odysseus.
Molly.
Yeah, she had
Molly,
that.
yeah.
She had the Molly. Oh, I didn't know the Greeks were into those type of stuff.
No, well, it was in the Odyssey. Hermes gave it to Odysseus so that he wouldn't be turned into a beast by Circe's special potions.
So Hippolyta's like, I'm gonna kill you, old woman, and zap. Oh shit, she survived.
Oh crap! And she has a gun. Well, I'm gonna send my beast morphers attack, and then Hermes goes, "Yeah, suck it." Boom.
Well, then like so like.
Okay, so that's I will have to say that's the one thing I kind of didn't like about that whole
The
thing.
Deus Ex Machina.
The Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Deus Ex Machina.
Well, okay, but that's actually an interesting thing throughout this whole Wonder Woman run is there's a lot of Deus Ex Machinas happening.
Literal Deus Ex Machina.
But at the same time, yeah, it's literal Deus Ex Machina. The actual gods are intervening, which I mean,
which
like
is a story technique from Greek plays.
True,
Like, Greek play, that happens in every Greek play.
So it does make sense in a sense, it's just, like I understand why Deus Ex Machina, they're Greek and all that, but like at the same time, it kind of feels like it feels
it felt like they wrote it felt like the team that did it, like, remember, this was not just George Perez, but he was a huge influence on this, but the team kind of wrote themselves into a corner.
Yeah, it really felt like, oh no, go ahead, I'm sorry.
And they didn't want to like they couldn't figure out, like, okay, we set up that Wonder Woman got captured, she's gonna get turned to clay, and we have it so that Julia can get the victory because she has the poly. Oh wait, we gave her an army of beastmen, and she wouldn't send all of them out. Oh crap.
I don't think the problem here that really irked me wasn't just the Deus Ex Machina. It's just how easy Hermes was able to do it. Like okay, so Hermes was just watching the entire time, and then only then did he act. And it's like,
yeah, as opposed to like trying to like be like more secretive, like give Julia a special MacGuffin item.
Yeah, that would have been. I think that would have been a lot more palatable. Hermes helps, but in a way that allows
Agency.
the people, allows the either Julia or Diana a chance to get out of their own mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, agency.
Though
Like-
I can understand why he decided to do it this way. Because of the aftermath, like direct aftermath, because it leads into a conversation about even the gods say, "Hey, Harry, is that what you? No, you shouldn't have done that." And then he was like, so what? Why shouldn't we? Like he was basically saying, why shouldn't we be more involved and not have like these stupid rules of us just standing here like doing minor help? Why don't we should be major help?
That would be, like I do what it's like. I think that is an interesting point there, but I think, like, again, what irks me about it is how simply Hermes did it. He didn't do it without hesitation. There wasn't anyone holding him back. There was no other gods. It's just, I can do this.
I think maybe that's why. Maybe because we didn't have like for most of this arc, we were just with Wonder Woman and Julia. Like those were our two primary point of views. There was like we didn't see the gods much at all because for some reason they just decided, hey, they're just mourning that Darkseid went to Olympus and kicked everyone's tail up there.
And then the gods were like, okay, so Olympus is shit. So you're gonna fix your home? Nah, we're just gonna move out. Deuces, everyone. Oh. Okay, and then so Diana and Paul, they go back to Themyscira like, okay guys, so the gods abandoned us. What?
Yeah. Yeah, and then at the end of our comic book reading, it's like, not all of them. Hermes stuck around because Hermes is like, I'm liking what they're doing with Hermes. Like, honestly,
I wouldn't say I like, but I am very interested in seeing where they going with Hermes is, because so the gods abandoned us. What? Yeah, they just said, their Olympus is just a shithole now. So deuces. That's literally what they said. Quote. Oh, I didn't know that, Diana. Yeah, that's. Wait. Are you sure they said quote deuces? I believe so.
Zeus went to go. Zeus moved back with his roommate Kevin.
Yeah, and like they're just deciding, okay, we need to make a new world order, so we're gonna just find a new place.
All I can think about now is one of my favorite Family Guy jokes. It begins with the beginning of the universe. So God was just hanging out with his roommate Chugs one night. And they're having an arm wrestling contest. I just love that clip.
Yeah.
So the gods just abandoned. So yeah, everyone just got abandoned by the gods, and then so they're like, what now? Well, the gods said, it's up to us to decide what to do now. And so I thought, seriously talking, I thought that was an interesting thing they were trying to touch on. Like, well, the gods are gone. What now? Shit.
Yeah,
and
I do like how we're going into an idea of like Themyscira opening up. Like,
right, which is, and that is interesting, and it also ties more into the whole thing of now Themyscira opening up now is more of them, deciding what they're going to do for themselves rather than what the gods tell them. And so I thought that was interesting to see.
I also like how there's like still factions in.
Mm-hmm. Not every Themysciran was for opening the borders.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help that they disarmed themselves. And I hope people will bring that up. Like, hey,
Guys, are you sure we should have thrown away all our weapons? Of course, and nothing can go wrong.
Really?
Heracles was like, I don't know. I feel like everything's gonna go all wrong.
Something's gonna happen to my woman.
We initiate spear control, and this is what happened.
You see,
This is what happens when you allow women to run a country.
Yeah. All of a sudden, Megatron shows up.
Megatron, if women decide they want to form their own country, then let them. Oh, Optimus, don't you remember the last time we allowed a group of women to form their own village? They built the entire thing off of lily pads. Lily pads. Who was stupid enough to do that?
But if they want to create their own society, fine. It won't prevent them from being taken over anyway.
I love it how we just make Megatron even more of a
But like but seriously though, like that was an interesting thing, and then and in a sense it also does tie back to the Cersei thing, how like I understand why it's like it is like you pull a Deus Ex Machina, but at the same time it's like I understand why you're doing it because you're setting up for the future with the gods saying deuces and stuff, and then Hermes kind of disagreeing with that, and then that tied over into the last few issues. But before those last few issues, we got issue 20 that happened.
Yeah. Okay. So issue 20 is my favorite issue. So
yeah,
Yes.
it's my favorite issue, and it can all be summed up as cocaine's one hell of a drug.
What's funny is it shouldn't be my favorite issue because it has that one thing that made me hate that one issue during our first reading.
Issue 8, yeah, it's the exact same thing with issue 8.
Yeah,
it's like a side character writing a story. But here's the thing, the difference. Instead of doing it all in handwriting, it's all typed. So as if you're reading like a person's like a typewriter.
It's written as a personal journal / police file. No,
it's readable.
Yeah, it's freaking readable.
It's
Plus,
sorry,
it doesn't take up the whole story.
Yeah.
And I like, and also it provides just a nice break of the storytelling too, of like instead of like this, of like dealing with gods or like dealing with the gods, we're dealing with a personal street level story about a death of like a very minor character in Wonder Woman, but is like a very important one in my opinion, like Mindy Mayer,
because she was the one who she kind of served one part of a reflection of Diana's role, where she helped bridge mankind to Diana.
Yeah, and again, one of the reasons I love issue 20 is like it's a combination of character arcs that's tied to the deeper themes that George Perez is also exploring, right? That team is exploring relationship between men and women, because during our first issue of this reading, we get introduced to this guy, this completely sleazy guy that everyone, yeah, like everyone who's reading it knows that guy's bad news, like.
Mm-hmm.
But yet Mindy Mayer is like infatuated with him and give him more respect, as opposed to the people in her company who are like close to her,
who actually put into work.
Yeah, and who care about her. And then of course you got people, because of what happened with the Silver Swan fiasco, because it took place she attacks a fair, a Wonder Woman that's supposed to be given to charity, and it turned into a bank robbery, and that instance, like one tarnishes Wonder Woman's reputation for a while, and like and also ruins Minnie Mayer's organization a bunch because it was like a PR nightmare, and it put Diana in a mindset of trying to figure out what's her role in the world, which then made her decide to go to Greece, which leads into the Cersei arc, and then issue 20 happens right as soon as she returns, and she finds out that her publicist supposedly was murdered, and
can we take a moment to I know this is a bit off topic. Can we take a moment to appreciate the cover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jenkins, can you pull up the cover?
Hold on. Give me 1 minute.
Wait, hold on. Actually, I think I can. Let me just.
I can do it. Don't worry. It's
right.
in the. All right. Here we go. Share.
I'm assuming that this is everyone's favorite cover.
Yeah.
It's my favorite cover.
Yeah, like 3. This is like if. I'm not sure. I think there's other good covers without this run, but this is definitely the most unique.
It is the one that stood out the most to me.
Like, I thought this was like a straight up page from the comic.
Yeah. I was like, oh, is this? Where's the cover? And then, oh, this is the cover.
What I think what I love the most about this cover is how much it conveys without being flashy.
Yeah, and it even explains the plot.
Yes, it does. Through the guy, through the facade of a newspaper headline. It tells you the title right there, Wonder Woman, in big bold print, and underneath it, more so than any other issue, because a lot of the previous Wonder Woman issue, a lot of the title for the issue tends to be hidden. Well, not hidden, but it tends to be the smaller part of the lower margin.
Oh, there. I need some. Hey, I need somebody to look this up because it would be cool if you look at the detail, like continue on page 2, like trustee board meeting on page 3. I want somebody to one of you, Xeonic or not, or Xeonic, can you see if it actually happens, like page 2?
Page 2, the jury's still out on that, but page 3, yes, that does line up perfectly with the story begins.
Yeah, that is so clever. Like, man, it makes this cover even better because it looks like you're reading an actual newspaper. Hey, Lois, be quiet.
Sorry.
Hey, Lois, shut the fuck up.
So,
hey, Lois, remember the time I talked about Wonder Woman?
Okay, but sorry for interrupting you. Not. Can you explain?
No. I was also about to mention that too. Thank you, Ninja. It's like, yeah, you get clever things on this page. The red margin, like the red print that says the story on page 3, which the story actually starts on page 3.
And like board meeting massacre, like that's main suspect, like.
And underneath that red heading, we also have the 4 main suspects, the pivotal characters of the story.
Yeah, and like where we get most of our testimonies from, and then I like it also is like it's a way to where we look at the characters that we have here, and I love it how the twist at the end is like one of the most brilliant twists I've thought in the comic, because this story like leads you to think that it's the sleazy guy, and the way they basically twist it is like, yes, he did do all of these things, like he would be the perfect murderer. He
did pull the trigger.
And he did blow her head off, and he did set it up so that the other guy, I can't remember his name.
His London. I think it was...
London.
Yeah, London.
So yeah, like everything is set up to be like, oh shit, this guy did it, and then at the end when he gets caught on the electric fence.
And when Wonder Woman talks to the private eye, who's been our narrator throughout this.
And so it's like, so like, first of all, the guy is now stuck on an electric fence, and he gets what he fucking deserves. He gets zapped, and he's dead. And so Wonder Woman's like, like he shouldn't have died, but at the same time, like, I guess it is kind of. I don't know if fitting is the right word, but it is. But he was the one who pulled the trigger, so the killer met his fate, and we can now bring Mindy to justice. And then the private's like, Diana, how do we put it like this? Well, tell me what. Yes, he did pull the trigger. That's not how she died, though.
So issue 20 as a whole, just to summarize it to the viewer, it's a very fun one shot noir
mystery story. It's noir. It's like this noir mystery story in a box. So like, I love mystery stories. Like that's like,
well, everyone loves a good mystery.
Yeah, but like I'm talking about. My mom is huge into mysteries. Like I grew up, mystery murder shows were like a lot of the things I grew up with, and even some literature on that, like the classical mystery writers. But anyway, so this was up my alley. And of course they improved on what they tried to do with issue 8 by you can read the story.
Mm-hmm.
And then it had a very good mystery about the murder of this woman, who was like a very prominent character.
Holy shit! These words are eligible.
It's like I think he's like and I compare it to a noir because it has that narration to it, like the point of view character is throwing around a lot of similes, and it's throwing around a lot of similes like a hard-boiled character would. And one of my favorite moments is the first time he meets the moment he meets Diana. The way he described her is exactly how a hard-boiled detective would in one of these stories. And I'm like. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this is really great.
Well, I think like the way you describe it, like holy shit, I must be dreaming. Like it's like as if God took the form of a woman. Holy shit, she's hot.
Yeah. And I think that's what most guys' reaction
to Wonder Woman would be.
Yeah. Yeah, don't look at my folders.
Steven, delete the homework folder. It's just homework, right? No, of course, homework folder never means actually homework.
Yeah, okay, but this issue was and also it was a good payoff and a good opening eyes. Like we see Wonder Woman, even though she's kind of a minor character in a sense, in this story, we see her get a new development, a new insight of how the world works. And like the tragedy.
She learned what suicide was.
Or more of an
accidental or purposeful. The idea that someone would kill themselves in this world
their
was
addiction. The addiction took over.
Was something new to Diana. So when she's like, so at the end when she's like, we got to kill her. Diana, that's not how she died. She died from an overdose.
From her addiction.
It sets up Diana to be hit with a very gray situation where she thought, it's like where she thought finding the killer, and now Mindy would be avenged, but that's not the real situation here.
The killer is not a person. It was a mental disease, a self-inflicted mental disease.
Yeah, and when I read that, I was like, wow, this got dark real fast.
And then it gets darker when Herbie showed up.
So now we can move on to the Hermes part.
Which was like multiple issues where we had basically the Amazons saying that to do the exchange program, and Julia and Vanessa get selected there, and Annual 1. I'm just going to do a brief recap of Annual 1. So the Annual 1 was basically tells a story about how they got about the adventure, their time on the island, and we come to learn of Julia's backstory and her relationship with her husband. We also learned that Julia was actually in Themyscira before.
Oh.
So during an incident, there was an accident that happened when she was a baby, where she fell into the water and an Amazon rescued her. Not
what? Oh, yes. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
wow.
Sorry.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, let me move. Okay. I apologize again.
Yeah,
that's fine.
It's fine. But she, as a baby, Amazon rescued her, and it was a common thing to happen. Usually for men, they get sent to the closest shore, but for girls, they get taken to an island, and then there's like this special blessing bestowed upon them, which is like a blessing of the Amazon, and then they get sent back to the world. Well, basically, Julia reunites with that Amazon who rescued her. And so for me, I was kind of mixed on that reaction when I read that. It's like, oh, great. So is this going to be revealed that every cast member connected to Wonder Woman is going to be somehow connected to Themyscira in some way? Are we going to have that effect?
I mean, it's like if that was the case, it would kind of feel a bit overused. Like we already had Steve's mom.
Yeah, and like for me that was cool. That was cool, and like
something good.
And then now it's just everyone went to Themyscira,
Yeah, at some point apparently, like
it kind of takes away a bit of that specialty. It's like if everyone went to Themyscira, then no one did. Because like if everyone went to Themyscira, then no one's special. It's like everyone went to Themyscira.
But okay, so that was like one story. So we get to learn about the history of, for me the most important one was Julia and her husband, like their story together. And we get insight into her, and it had some beauty to it. But also we have a story about another kingdom of women it was like Lemos, the Kingdom of Lemos, where the women killed all the men.
Oh, lovely.
They did a twist on it, and then what happened, like the whole twist, it was built up about this old queen who fell in love. She had a daughter. The incident happened. The women Lemos killed all the men. She was banished along with her daughter, and she was cursed by having aged a whole bunch. So she's like this decrepit old lady.
Mm-hmm.
And Hippolyta's sister, before they went to do the new Themyscira, went to Lemos, and what happened was the former queen died of shock of what she saw, where all the women, after killing all the men, they killed each other.
Oh.
And what they saw, it was a wasteland full of bones.
Okay.
So it was another expansion upon the whole relationship between men and women.
Mm-hmm.
It's just showing the extreme example of why hating on men is a bad idea. Because it doesn't remove the whole ideology of hating men.
If we get rid of the men, then there will be peace.
Yeah.
You
killing
see. No.
Yeah, and then we had a story about the first captain of the guard, so Philippus's predecessor, and also the creation of that basement gate, the evil basement.
The evil basement.
So the first lock before they made the metal door was a bunch of wood crushed over the captain of the guard who sacrificed herself protecting Philippus.
Huh.
She called for all the Amazon to throw the whole bunch of logs on her, crushing her, but keeping the monster at bay.
Oh.
Yeah. And
hardcore.
Yeah, and then the final one, there was one other story. There was one about how Wonder Woman learned how to dive into the water, and get the blessings of Poseidon, essentially. And then the final one was the will of Mindy Mayer.
Oh.
So we learned about her backstory and her family life, and how her family was not a great family, and she has a brother. She was a daughter of Jewish parents. She had an older sister who was who loved her dad, except after 20 years of taking care of him because he had Alzheimer's.
Ooh.
She basically dumped him and had Mindy taking care of him, and left him in a nursing home. And so Mindy was actually taking care of him for the remainder. But the thing is that Mindy and her brother were rebellious children.
Mm-hmm.
So her older sister was the beloved one. So every time she was there with her dad forgot about her and was calling for the other sister.
Oh.
And then her brother was also gay.
So
this was during this period, right? The period of the beginning of the gay rights movements stuff. So the whole conversation about coming out of the closet. So basically, Mindy encouraged her brother to get out of the closet.
I
think he even had a
boyfriend?
No, a Mercury mustache. Freddie Mercury mustache at one point. He had it at one point, but the time where we read him, he shaved it. So. So But it was like shown in like a flashback type shot, and then the final request that Mindy gave to Wonder Woman was to spread her ashes in like the seas of Themyscira, because it was like tied to a special meaning about like how she can't achieve that innocence as Wonder Woman is, because Wonder Woman as a character, like as we just discussed with her death, is like innocent and pure, and Mindy is not. Like she died of cocaine.
Cocaine's one hell of a drug.
Yeah. And so that's how the annual ends. And then we go to Vanessa getting popular for publishing photos, including her ex-boyfriend, that whole thing.
The ex-boyfriend's subplot.
And also her now ditching her friend.
Yes.
Being, oh, I'm popular, y'all. Like that's.
I'm too good for y'all. Hey, girls.
Don, are you there? Uh-oh.
Not.
He muted himself.
Not if you can hear us. Blink twice in the chat.
Sorry.
Damn it, he's not here. He didn't blink twice in the chat.
Yeah, so we begin like basically the final part of the story, which is the Hermes. The two-parter with Hermes.
So Hermes decides, you know what? Fuck the other gods. I'm staying on Earth. Oh, okay. And I'm gonna show the world that, hey everyone, I'm Hermes. Worship me, baby. Oh, okay.
And Julia just goes, no. Like, stop, no.
Julia's like, Hermes, I understand you're a god and all that, but right now you're kind of coming off as a dick.
And you're doing it the wrong way. Like, you have to earn the trust.
You're buying people's trust. You're not earning them. I mean, you ever wonder why that Jesus guy's more popular? You dare compare me to that Jesus guy? Well, he is more popular. Damn, that's true.
But also he's like, how dare you say that? No, she said like at some point, it's like, is this what Olympus comes to? And I was just thinking, lady, it has always been that.
It's like, it's just really what the Olympus and the gods have come to. Julia, every Greek story, well, not every Greek story, but most of the well-known Greek stories always starts off with, and then along came the mighty Zeus.
And also, that's how their religion worked. It was more they worshipped them because they were like paying off for benefits and not getting punished.
See, Julia. Here's the thing. I know you were raised by a Christian mother, which was actually a thing they brought up.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Jesus is different from the Greek gods. See, Jesus in the Christian religion, he's willing to, accept us for who we are. In the Greek religion, pay up or be smited.
Yeah, and pay up, don't do this.
The Christian religion, whether you believe it or not, the whole idea is the great deity God would be willing to send out his only sons to sacrifice for us because he loves us that much. The Greek religion, what's that? You don't believe in? You're not worshiping? Smite time. Here comes the lightning. Psst. So Julia, the Greek gods were always like this.
Yeah.
The Greek gods were always like this.
And they were always arrogant. And then we see why this wouldn't work in the modern day in a superhero universe.
So Hermes is so Diana, I'm gonna be sticking around here. Here, you mind if I crash at your place? Great, Diana. Thanks a lot.
Oh, it's like, oh wait, we can't crash here. Okay, I'm gonna take her to like New Hampshire. And by the way, boom, she has new bling. She's gonna be my ambassador. She's basically my Mindy Mayor. She's gonna be in charge of all of our tours.
It's like and also one more thing, Julia. What's that? Fuck you. I'm out. Deuces.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, how dare you? And then Vanessa, of course, is like infatuated with him, more with the fame and stuff. And then it's our boy Phobos again. Phobos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Phobos. What? Hey, hey, if Phobos is back, what's Ares doing? He's kind of busy being drunk.
Yeah, and also he brought a girlfriend, named Yuri.
Yuri,
who speaks Greeks.
She's one of the Gorgon sisters. So you know Medusa. Yeah.
Except she can turn it on and off, apparently.
Yeah, it's more like a superpower rather than an actual curse.
Yeah, and a lot of people died because they not only like have her turn people into stone and break them apart.
Hermes, being a typical Greek guy, is like, oh man, this is great, Diana. Everyone's loving me. I don't know about that. Great Hermes, shut up, Diana. Of course you don't know any better. I'm exaggerating. I just realized I'm kind of making out Hermes to be more like Dennis from It's Always Sunny.
Well, the thing is that that was like his attitude, but not in like that style. But
I know.
But then as soon as he thought, oh, I'm gonna just do actual healing and put it on camera, it turned out to be Phobos in disguise, and it turned out they brought the first murderer, who's the size of a kaiju at this point, from Tartarus on a wheel, and had they used Hermes' powers to unlock the chains that Hermes locked him up in.
And this was also a consequence of the Greek gods saying deuces to everyone. So you know the I forgot the first murderer's name. The guy who's giant. He's like, Hermes like, hey, what the hell? He's supposed to be in Tartarus. How'd you get him out? Oh, Hermes.
Moved.
You moved. When you Greek gods moved, you left the keys. Oh shit.
Hades, what were you doing? Wait, I was telling Persephone to do that. What do you mean?
And then so like
bickering about who left the keys behind.
And then like, hey Hermes, look what I got. Hey, that's my staff. Nah, I got.
And I got your hat.
Hey, give those back. No.
Now die. And then the first murderer basically put him on his hand and saying, "Hey, look, I'm gonna see me kill all these people in Boston." Like,
hey, your hometown got destroyed again.
Actually, this is the first time. Actually, like Boston is rarely destroyed. It's New York, or Los Angeles.
It got destroyed
in Chicago.
So you know,
basically, we're Kaiju Central. Okay, so we're basically Tokyo.
All right. Yeah. so you know, the giant guy is just going around killing everyone, and then eventually
about to destroy the USS Constitution. But then Wonder Woman saved it.
And then Wonder Woman. And then Wonder Woman's like Wonder Woman came in. She saved the day, kind of, and then eventually Hermes was able to get his hat and staff back, so he got his powers again.
And decapitates the Gorgon.
And then so after that, with Phobos tied up with the lasso of truth. Hermes like, all right, I'm gonna take Phobos and this giant monster back to the pits of Tartarus. But Hermes, you just said that they have the keys.
Darn it. Okay, you know what? We'll throw him in Themyscira. What again?
And so like, okay, fine. Here, your basement is Themyscira. Yeah, we'll put them there. Again, Miss Great Hermes, I appreciate you and all for you being, a god and stuff. But we Themyscirans kind of throw away all our weapons.
And Hermes going, what?
Hermes is like, well, shit, what do you want me to do now? Well, isn't there another way? There's got to be a way.
And then all came in, and then America came in.
The American Air Force came in. America, fuck yeah. Coming around to save the motherfucking big America, fuck yeah. And so the U.S. Air Force comes in, and then Hermes is like, oh, there we go. Here's your solution, Diana. All right, check this out.
Diana is like horrified of seeing this guy getting.
Diana's like, what do you mean in solution? And then the U.S. Air Force just blows up the monster, and she's like,
no, he was still human. Diana, he's a psycho murderer who literally killed a whole bunch of people by stomping on them and destroying buildings. And he nearly destroyed the USS Constitution.
So that was also the day Diana learned. I remembered. Oh yeah, I forgot. Humanity itself can be kind of.
And basically, the end of the issue is that everyone was not happy, was very depressed.
Yeah. Oh, and then also Julia was on menopause.
That was the
that was explicitly stated in the comic. Julia explicitly stated to Diana the reason why I fought with Hermes was I was on menopause. Julia, yes, Diana, what's a menopause? You'll find out when you're older.
No, she basically told him was, oh wait, yeah, you Themyscirans must have not experienced this because you're immortal or something.
Okay, Julia, you know puberty, right? No. Okay, well, let's just pretend you know puberty. It's like that, but for adults, and it just basically instead of us becoming more mature, it's us dying. That doesn't sound fun, Julia. Of course, it isn't fun.
It sure is hilarious.
Oh, thank you, Megatron.
You're welcome.
Megatron, you should know that making fun of a female's body is not hilarious.
Fine, I won't make fun of women's body. I'll make fun of specific women's body. Hey, little one!
Stop it, you two!
Don't you dare bring a little one into this!
Don't make me send you guys to the Shadow Realm again!
If there's a woman to make fun of, it should be Amy Schumer.
Fair. You know what?
Yeah, and that's pretty much like the general stuff of this, like.
Yeah, it was the general gist, like, and so what did we learn today, class? We learned that the Greek gods are still the Greek gods. Men
and women need to learn to reconcile with each other, and women can't make their own societies without killing each other, apparently.
Or they'll just form a village on top of lily pads.
Man, how many Bionicle jokes are we? Like, we haven't even gotten.
Do you wanna stick around and find out?
Don't me, Ninja. You know I could do this forever.
Yes, I know. Don't worry. We'll get to the Bionicle jokes. We're doing the Bionicle comic after this. We're doing like.
Well, now you've done it, Ninja. I have to make at least 5 Bionicle jokes, at least into preparation as a teaser for when we do Bionicle.
Oh my god!
I still need to find the time to edit the Bionicle 101 video.
I think we're gonna
Get
do a
on it.
live stream on that. By the time we do the Bionicle stuff, we're definitely doing live streams. Actually,
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, we learned today. The Greek gods are still the Greek gods. Men and women kind of still have problems, and overall, the world's kind of not too great place. Poor Diana though, she's got to deal with all that.
yeah. Okay. So, what is everyone's favorite issue?
20.
20.
20. Okay. What's the least? Your least favorite issue that you've read? What?
I just had to think about it. I'm like,
I
think. Oh no, go ahead, Shane. Sorry.
I wouldn't say there was a least favorite. It's just issue 20 was just the one that stood out the most out of the bunch.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I think 15 for me is the weakest.
Which one was that again?
Not Image. The first
Silver Swan.
Silver Swan.
Nah.
Like, it's good at setting up future stuff, like issue 20. But yeah, there's some interesting stuff going on, and like Silver Swan is like very compelling as how she's like in an abused relationship. Like, it's definitely looking at like abuse.
Mm-hmm.
In actual Stockholm Syndrome, not us joking about Stockholm Syndrome.
Well, I mean, Hippolyta's
Hippolyta's Greek.
Oh, is that her card? And just Hippolyta.
She's ancient Greece. Ancient Greece.
Hippolyta, you know what Stockholm is, right? I draw ancient Greeks card. This allows me to use this as an excuse for anything.
Yes. Anything weird that's weird in terms of sexuality and relationship between men and women.
Oh, okay.
You could have just said king card.
James Woods.
Sorry. I'm trying to block this down.
Alright.
There's also one more lesson we need to learn for the day. Cocaine's one hell of a drug.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm the James, bitch!
So, so what are your final thoughts on this segment? And also, how many issues are we going to read this next time? So,
we read like 10 issues.
Yeah, 10. We're about halfway there.
Halfway there.
Not really halfway there. It's like 60 something. Yeah. So we're.
I think
we're basically almost done with the. I think like your 2 volumes away from done with the trade paperback stuff that you can find online, and then you have to actually spend money.
Oh.
Or just use Reese Comics Online.
No, Reese Comics Online doesn't have the last couple stuff.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
What do you mean?
It has up to volume 4, but there's volume 5, and then the War of the Gods omnibus.
Well,
and the War of the Gods it
I'm
has.
reading it through it like issue by issue, not through like omnibuses and trade paperbacks.
Okay.
Like,
also, it has technically. Let me see where, because.
And yes, I'm the only one who has who has begun reading this legally, because I really actually enjoyed this run. Like overall, what are your guys' impressions of this run?
I like it.
I like it. I like it for what it is.
Well,
like I can, I am still like it's good, but it's not reaching yet that levels of like greatest comics of all time, but it is a very good run.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, Read Comics Online has up to issue 226.
Okay, it's like
That's-
65.
And
Yes, that's all of volume 2.
and it has up to annual 8.
Yeah, okay, it has the run. It must be like trying to search Wonder Woman George Perez.
Yeah, so
Oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
so you said his run ends around like the issue 60 mark?
63, I think.
63?
60.
Yeah, or like 65. Let me just check.
Yeah. William Messer Loeb's is 64. Let me check 63 again.
I think it's 60.
Wait, yeah, no, I have to search a bit earlier. 60. All right, so I think it's 61 or 62.
Okay.
No, 60. So 62 is the end of the War of the Gods arc, but then 63 is like
William
epilogue.
Yeah, it's the epilogue, and it's carried on with William Messer Loeb's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So technically 63.
All right. So issue 63 is the last of Perez's run.
Yeah. So.
All right. So. I don't really have anything else to say.
Yeah. So. So how many how many issues do you want to read this time? Do you want to do bi-weekly or back to still do monthly?
Let's do monthly.
Monthly.
Yeah.
Okay. So. All right. So we're gonna do bigger chunks then. Let's.
All right.
You know what? Okay. So. I have the next trade paperback of volume 3, and that contains another 10 from issue 25 to 35. Do you think you can do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do 10 issues.
Yeah.
And it looks like there's no annuals in this one. So.
Okay.
And I think you'll enjoy it because the front cover, the cover for the first issue of this set features Matchstick's favorite Green Lantern.
Oh.
Now you could be joking and saying Kyle Rayner, or be unironic and say Guy Gardner.
It's Guy Gardner.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Don't worry. This was before Hal Jordan kills all the Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So
what?
Oh
yeah, okay. Time to do some brief comic.
We're gonna have to do Emerald Knights, aren't we?
Oh no! After Wonder Woman, we're gonna go to like Marvel. No. After Wonder Woman, we're doing Bionicle. Then we're gonna go into Marvel, and then maybe after that, after we do Marvel, I just found out that there's BattleTech comics.
You want us to join you in the BattleTech pit?
Yes, I am. I'm gonna try to convert you guys to do BattleTech.
I really want to do that one Sonic Universe arc.
Oh yeah, that one. I think you know what? Maybe if we do after BattleTech, we go to like either DC or or Marvel. And if we want to, we can go to arcs. Like maybe we do like one run, and then we do technically a run of Bionicle, and then we do another run of actual run of Marvel, and then after that we do some event stuff.
Okay.
Chang, to answer your confusion.
Uh-huh.
2 words: Emerald Twilight. You can look it up in your own time.
No,
Okay.
no, I want to recap. Okay, so how Jordan got infested by the God of Fear, which is responsible for the Yellow Lantern. Yeah,
Oh,
and
Parallax.
yeah, he got infected by Parallax, then he killed all the Green Lanterns to get all their rings, and that's how we got Kyle Rayner, because the last Green Lantern ring and its battery was sent to a random artist named Kyle Rayner, and thus begins his story arc of him becoming a Green Lantern and having his girlfriend stuff in the fridge.
What about Sinestro? Was he playing this?
He's probably dead. I don't remember.
Oh.
Yeah, they seriously killed off. They basically did like a total reboot by having Hal Jordan become a bad guy and kill everyone off, and then and that was the state of Green Lantern comics until Jeff Johns came in, and then 0 Hour happened.
Ah.
Jeff Johns swooped in. He's like, "This is mine now."
And I think that was like
Jeff.
I think that was like his first thing.
Green Lantern? Huh.
Like one of his, or like that was the one that made him popular, definitely. But
huh.
I will also say I'm looking through the comics right now. I think we're going into that period where George Perez was not catching up on his art. So there's going to be an art change.
Oh. Okay.
Like
for
he's
better
still,
or worse?
Well, not as good as George Perez's art.
I
would definitely say that.
Okay.
Like the art, but it has its own style. It's more. It looks more like it's inspired by Jack Kirby a bit.
Okay.
And also, what I'm looking through, we're gonna get back to Cheetah.
Oh, Cheetah's finally coming back.
Yep, and it looks like we're doing. There's gonna be more Hermes shenanigans. And it looks like we're going into Africa or something. Or like there's gonna be dark-skinned women in like Africa, Middle Eastern context. So
well, it's the end of the world. This is my only chance. I'm gonna go into the inner city and yell out the N-word. They respect me for saying it.
Yep. So okay. So all you listeners who are actually reading along this, just pick up the volume 3 trade of Wonder Woman by George Perez, or read issue 25 to 35. And yeah, that will be. See you guys next time.
All right then. See you next time.
And remember that we need to. I'm gonna do something.
Okay.
Mommy!